Prime Minister Modi's Independence Day address from the Red Fort this year was a list of exactly how far India still has to go and how fast. And of course, the headline number is 1 crore. That's how many young Indians the government wants trained in AI over the next year alone. And of course, guess what's happening in October of this year? Yes, everything which is AI and tech-centric is taking place at Cypher 2026. IBM Bob presents Cypher 2026. Yes, Lakshmi R. Iyer, who is the founder and CEO of Street Smart Productions, is only one of the many speakers who shall be sharing her thoughts in terms of creativity, technology, and how it's influencing jobs, etc. Moving forward, there's so many more. Vatsal Seth, Indian Grandmaster Arjun Eric is also going to be there, and of course 500 plus speakers, 150 plus demonstrations every day, and of course there's an expo as well. So IBM Bob presents Cypher 2026, October of this year. The venue is KTPO, Bengaluru. Now of course back to PM Modi. Now, beyond the India AI mission, PM Modi announced free online coaching for competitive exams aimed at easing the financial burden on families preparing children for government jobs. He also launched a nationwide sports talent hunt for children aged 5 to 15 across villages and cities. Such a breath of fresh air, I must say. He also pushed the Nasha Mukt Yuva Abhiyan, urging every family to join the fight against drug abuse. Extremely pertinent. Additionally, he called on citizens to participate honestly in India's first ever digital census, asking families to sit together and get their details correct. On the energy front, 100 gigawatt nuclear power is targeted by 2047, with 5 new reactors operational within 6 to 7 years. Now for chips, 7 to 8 new semiconductor plants are to be operational within just 1 to 2 years. And about civil defense, he announced modernized training and enhanced capabilities to meet evolving security needs. Now, PM Modi wrapped it all inside a framework he called Sapta Dhara, or the 7 streams of strength. These include manufacturing power, building complete domestic value chains, agriculture and food processing, which I think should receive a lot more of the spotlight, farm to export supply chains for millets, spices and fruit, moving toward chemical-free farming, technology and innovation, making India a hub for AI, quantum computing, of course, space, robotics, digital infrastructure, and homegrown 6G. Gati Shakti, seamless logistics linking highways, railways, airports, and seaports. Defense Shakti, self-reliance in next-generation weapons, drones, counter-drone systems, and hypersonics. The green and blue economy, which is basically green hydrogen, renewables, and India's ocean and coastal potential. And of course, India's soft power, taking yoga, Ayurveda, and tourism globally alongside gaming, VFX, and animation. He set fairly explicit targets for Indian companies to hit. His vision sets a goal to have at least 50 Indian companies listed in the Fortune 500. Possible. He calls for an Indian bank to rank among the world's first 5 largest banks, and also aims for an Indian pharmaceutical company to reach the global top 5. Very aspirational. He also envisions an Indian law or rating agency achieving global leadership alongside an Indian consulting or accounting firm ranking among the world's best. He also emphasizes that at least one Indian tech company must rank among the world's leading technology firms. His core principle, running through every goal that I just listed, is that there can be no compromise on quality. He made a direct appeal to political parties to cooperate on implementing 1/3 reservation for women in parliament and state assemblies. He also called for centre and states to work together on the next round of reforms through what he called a whole of government, whole of society approach. And here, of course, then comes the front page take. Now, what stands out is how measurable almost all of this is. Instead of being vague, nation-building language, it was laid out in gigawatts, plant counts, a specific youth number named Fortune 500 slots, and a 7-part framework you can actually check progress against next year. Yet, As the nation benchmarks itself against a global tech dominance, a crucial question emerges. When top-tier global targets are pursued alongside persistent grassroots challenges around, let's say, education, health, employment, sanitation, and so much more, does setting such ambitious numbers neglect unaddressed day-to-day realities? Yeah, definitely agree on that one, and would love to understand what are your thoughts in the comments below. Also the fact that everything needs to work perfectly well in excellent alignment for it to kind of come to fruition based on these targets. Yes, for sure, that's great, but I believe working in the parliament every day is also extremely important, because the taxpayer, because of those reasons, ends up wasting upwardly of about 150 crores a day. Just a thought. Anyway, like, share, subscribe, and always remember, think AI, think AIM.